Impression of KSI trying to force the roadman lingo. And ladies and gentlemen, raw, fam. Nah, fam. He's violated you. And ladies and gentlemen, blood. He's got to go, blood. Oh my God, that's actually KSI, isn't it? He's got to go, blood. He's got to go, blood. Thank you very much for the $5. I was driving KSI, private school to Watford, whatever. Private school in Watford. It's all good. Fam, cuz. All the sidemen piss me off, man. Thank you for the $5. I was driving to work when I saw a random guy running in the middle of the street like a maniac. It was Merab. Nice. There you go. Keeping up his cardio, see? You see Mason Jones is back in the UFC? I did see that. I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it, indeed. He's very good. I hope he gets like a good test to begin his career. I lost the original sheath. Thank you for the £50. Robert Bell, I appreciate the £50, dude. Thank you. Generational wealth is about investment and education. You would know, I imagine, seeing as you've probably got it. No, not state education, though. Big up, Bryce. Also, true. Seen many families, including my own, implode from this. Yeah. Well, there you go. You would know, wouldn't you generational wealthy fucking bastard. Yeah. Thank you for the £50. Yeah, investment, education, yeah. It's also, chat, here's the good thing about, you know how people's kids disgrace their family name? You've got to have something for your kid to miss out on if they do mess up. Like, you know how people worry about their daughters getting into OnlyFans and that? Thank you for the £50, Robert Bell. You've got to have something for them to miss out on, which is why you got to hustle. So that when your daughter does grow up, you got to be like, well, if you fuck around and don't fucking follow the family way, this fucking wealth ain't going to your way. You know what I mean? This wealth ain't trickling down. You have something at stake for your family to uphold, you know? Thank you very much for the £50 though, Robert Bell. I appreciate that. Again, another donor. I forgot about those Save Us from Illia casuals, yeah. Dude, I've seen viral Instagram reels of people like, in a world where Bilal and DDP are still champ. Like, they're just chucking DDP in there with him. DDP's a sick champ. Every fight's fun. Does Ortega have a fight? Him and Justin? Yeah. I don't know if he has a fight, no. And they shouldn't give him Gaethje, but I don't know if he has a fight. I heard they were trying to do him versus Gamrot, which is a matchup that actually stylistically is quite interesting, but no. Thank you for the $3 Australian. You do you, Izzy Boo. Thank you for the 3. Illia literally has some of the best defense. Lamaui hardly ever gets caught with that more than one punch at a time. I know. Guy's just salty, yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, whoever said he has bad defense is awful. It's an awful take. People get hit in the sport. It's just how it is. There's too much to try and avoid. There's too much to think about. It's not about if you get hit or not. It's about if you get hit in what position you're in and how much effect that hit has on you based on the position you're in, where your feet are underneath you at the time and where your hand positioning is when a guy goes for a head kick and shit like that. So you're going to get hit. Defense doesn't mean not getting hit. It just means like controlling the hits that you take to not detriment your fight, you know? What sort of music do you listen to? I've been listening to a lot of Tame Impala recently and shit like that. Thank you for the 2. A lot of things like that. But I don't listen to music. Every like now and then I'll just listen to it. But I don't listen like consistently throughout the day or anything. Heard Gaethje versus Fiziev 2. We'll see. Can't stand Max's fans. Glad Mushbrain got chinned. They are annoying, to be fair. And I was one of them. And I'm still a Holloway fan, but yeah, they are annoying. Tame Impala. That's the last song I remember listening to, that's all. It was something by Tame Impala. Saw this on Twitter and wanted to see your thoughts. What do you think is more tiring, offensive or defensive wrestling? Probably depends on your success. I'd say offensive. I'd say offensive wrestling is more tiring. It honestly does depend on your success, but in the case of a neutral result of the scramble, I'd say the offense has like been costed more because they initiated. They needed more of an explosive movement to begin the exchange. You know, they're like lower than you, which means there's more pressure on their legs and their lower back. So, yeah. Hooker out of the fight with the clap. Moicano next. I could see Moicano getting it. Taking the fight from the turtle in the tree. The guy's a fucking turtle in the fucking tree, brother. Oh my god, Bryce Mitchell was like to fucking post. Retroactively going back on Instagram to see what Bryce Mitchell has liked. How it feels to hang out with that one bro who also knows it wasn't 6 million. Thug Nasty likes this. And it's like an edit of Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Fucking Bryce Mitchell, man. What a fucking legend. Jesus Christ. Sometimes everyone's been sending me shit like, dude, he liked this one as well from like January. It's so fucking funny. You can see where he went down the, you know, when he went along. If Gene Silver, the signs were all there, guys. The signs were all there. It was only a matter of time. That's probably why he started the pod. He's like, I'm doing it. I'm starting. I'm telling it. I'm saying the truth. Hooker out of the fight with a clap. Moicano next. If Gene Silver steps in against Gaethje, who wins? I'll go Gene Silver. I never pick Gaethje. Other than against Poirier in the rematch. And a few other fights in his career, I've picked Gaethje. And I've been correct when I've picked him. But most of the time, I do pick against him. So I'll probably pick against him again. Can you record yourself making love? No. Thank you for the 2. Thoughts on Marcus McGee? Marcus McGee dying from AIDS. I don't think he's dying of AIDS. Ariel Hawani's behind you. Thank you for the 2. No, he's not. Bryce plus Paulo double interview. It might just be too crazy to manage and control, you know? Thoughts on Cade Rutillo? 3-0 MMA start so far. Great, phenomenal grappler. Phenom grappler, should I say. Looking forward to see what happens. Hopefully he makes his way over to the UFC eventually, you know? On Foenham Grave. Biggest fraud in the UFC right now? What's up, Fiat? Biggest fraud in the UFC right now? John Jones. Now, if we're looking at like contenders, like I don't really believe in. Cory Sandhagen. I don't know. I can't unfeel what I now feel about Cory Sandhagen. I feel like I was gaslit by Cory Sandhagen saying that he was writing all these books about the art of war and shit like that. And I watch him fight and I'm like, dude, you're just switching stances on the outside. Please stop, you know? You know, I don't care if you sat in a tent all night fucking writing in your diary about how you're going to kill someone. You know, he just sits on the outside, flicks out his lead hand and low kicks at range. Like, come on, man. I really fell for that. I fell for the whole trick of him, you know? Thank you for the $3 Australian. Impression of Sandhagen wanking to the outside foot battle. There you go. There you go. Dear diary, today somebody got outside foot position on me. And I read from Sun Tzu that you're not supposed to have mercy for your adversaries. Thank you for the 3. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly that. It's statistically impossible for it to be 6 million. I know, but chill. Shut the fuck up. Who's the ugliest fighter in the UFC who's not Merab? The ugliest fighter in the UFC who's not Merab. All right, guys, come on. Raul Rosas Jr. Thank you for the 3. Merab posted a skit teasing the O'Malley fight. No. Thoughts on the upcoming prospect? Okay. Best cheeks in the UFC other than Jamon. Oof. I'm looking at women's bantamweight. Other than Jamon, I mean, you're taking away a golden choice. Probably Perez, if we're like not counting, if we're just saying cheeks. Probably Aylin Perez. I feel like Pena will retire and get a retirement video. I could see that, yeah. I could see that. Bryce Mitchell was a good dude before the atrocities. Before the atrocities. He was a good dude. Before the atrocities. Thank you for the $8 Girlfriend cheated on me, Guru, but your humor and basedness is getting me through. No problem, brother. It's going to be okay. Impression of Connor wanting to egg her house with me. All right. Me! We're going to fucking egg the fuck out this fucking whore, yeah? Thank you for the 8. That's what she gets for sharing her fucking eggs. Thank you for the 5. Could honestly see a close fight between Cory and O'Malley. Yeah, I would see it close, but I think O'Malley would chew up his leg and beat him. But yeah, I could see a close fight. Thank you for the 5. I do think O'Malley would win, though. I could see O'Malley chinning him as well. Now, ugliest is Ankalaev or Bilal, maybe Batista. All right. Thank you very much for the $5. I understand and share your dislike for Cory. He tries to be too technical and pretty and too weak like Yair to throw many power shots and grapple. It seems like he's focused on like... Sometimes you just... You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to win a fight. And Cory Sandhagen, it feels like that isn't his priority sometimes. You know? He's like, well, I could win, but that won't look pretty if I do that. You know? It'd be risky if I did that. I always feel like that when I'm watching a Cory Sandhagen fight. When do we get Kayla Harrison versus O'Malley? Oof. Soon. Once O'Malley moves to the men's divisions, then we'll have that matchup, I'll tell you. Right, so I'll try and get this Manel Kape interview tomorrow, I guess. We'll see what happens. That should be good. What do you guys think I should ask him? 2 versus 1, Merab and Topuria versus Jones. Who wins? Merab and Topuria versus Jones. Who wins? Probably the two of them. It'd be close though. I think it'd be risky, but 2-on-1 if they're both trained fighters is a fucking tough ask. You know, putting someone away for good in a fight for enough time to deal with the other one is much more difficult than you think, you know? Not saying that like I know, but, you know, I don't think people will. It's very hard to finish a fight without teachers stepping in. You know what I mean? To actually finish a fight. Be careful, Guru. Robert Bell is trying to pay his way into your pants. I'm on to him. It's all good. I've got my guard up, mate. Thank you for the 5. Aldo versus Zahabi is proof the UFC sharts on legends. It is. So is Aldo versus Batista, and so is Aldo versus Martinez. This has happened 3 times in a row. Guru, who is your favorite prospect that got destroyed on the come-up? I will never forgive that fuzzball Malteser, Kevin Lee, for murking my boy Gregor Gillespie. I wasn't really a big fan of Gregor, though. Eventually, towards the end as well, I was pissed off at him because he literally said, give me Ferguson or I'm done. Favorite prospect that got destroyed on the come-up? Oh, I can't think, man. There's so many. I've been watching for so long, man. There's so many. I used to think Edmund Shabazian was going to be the truth of the middleweight division, to be honest with you. There was a time when he beat Tavares, I was like, dude, there's no one at middleweight stopping this. I literally thought that for a second, so that was kind of a shocking derailment. That's just off the top of my head. There's loads of others, though. Impression of Cory gooning to Hardy's sword story. Yeah, and tell us how you pieced together a fucking sword in the temple grounds. Shall I read the Dan Hardy? I'm not reading it now. There's too many and there's too many donos. But maybe at the end of the stream, I'll read the fucking Dan Hardy story. Who has the best hair transplant in the UFC? Best hair transplant in the UFC. Paul Craig's went well for him. Paulo Costa's has been pretty good for him. I can't think of any others. Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson, to go from what he went from, was pretty impressive rebound. Allberg versus Yuri, title elimination. Yeah, but they're doing Allberg versus Blachowicz in London, so I guess we'll see who wins that and then give them Yuri for a title elimination bout. Which fantasy race does Werner Jandiroba look like? A goblin. Thank you for the 2. People forget, man. Craig Jones is JDM's coach and learns things off of him like to escape against a cage. He smokes Bilal. I believe in JDM against Bilal. I believe in him. Thank you for the $8 Australian, Jack Della's straight nose. Thank you. Cory beat TJ. He did. Thank you for the 2. He should have done anyway. Race tier list from Cap. All right, yeah. Maybe I'll go through the flyweight contenders and I'll say which ones... Which ones do you think have an abomination of DNA? I remember when there was a time when Manel Kape was just saying that your DNA is an abomination. I remember people were saying, stay centered on the screen. I'm going to finish. All right. Shouldn't people feel happy that it wasn't? Why is such an outrage when they hear that number was a lot lower? Should be good news. Because then it kind of ruins the whole thing that they got going on. But yeah, I know what you mean. Thank you for the 5. You're right. Right? That's almost wishful thinking. I just can't live with myself thinking that it would have been that much. You know what I mean? Chill out though, guys. I'm in the UK. You're in America. Like, come on. The belts are losing their value. Champs rather vacate the most sought after item in the sport because they won their fight. Because they won't fight their friend, or giving sods like Izzy and O'Malley infinite rematches. Yeah, belts are losing their value, and there's only one per division, which is kind of insane. But I don't know. There's been people that have vacated before. So thank you for the 15 Australian dollars. I also think that there is when a guy vacates the belt, it's like I don't know, they say they vacated, but I feel like a lot of the times, especially with the Jamal Hill and the Yuri Praska situation at light heavyweight, it's like, you're getting stripped. We can take the belt off you, or you can voluntarily vacate it. You know what I mean? So Illia is one of the few examples where that's actually happened recently, where someone actually has just vacated the belt. I feel like a lot of the other ones were kind of pushed by the UFC, and, you know, they sort of made it look like they wanted to. Do you ever find it funny people trash Batista and Merab for the fights with Aldo, but Volk set that blueprint first? You've seen the Instagram short as well. Yes, it is funny. But Volk did outland him on the feet as well, though. Like, he did outstrike him on the feet. So, you know. Revive Curtis Page or King Von. Think deeply, yeah? I don't know, man. King Von, I guess. Renato wins, even on short notice. Hope they call. I think Moicano can win that shit as well. I think Moicano can win that shit. 100%, you know? Thank you for the 22 euros. Guru, I'm very similar to you. 6'3.5" with shoes on. So not similar then, because I'm about 6'4.5" with shoes on. Around 248 pounds, okay. And around 25% body fat. I don't know what body fat percentage I am. I don't think I'm 20. Maybe I am. I have quite a bit of muscle, so I know you do too. Can't wait till a photo of DJ pops up so we can be proven to be big, not fat. All right. Thank you for the 22 euros. I'm meeting DJ in May. That's something that we are doing. We're collaborating with Demetrius Johnson. He's coming to the UK, so we'll do something like that. Thank you for the 22 euros. I think I'm doing an interview with him, so we'll make it happen. And then what I might do after the interview with DJ is do a monthly recap of the pay-per-views with him moving forward. So we'll see what happens from it. You know, we'll see how the numbers do. It'll be a good time to launch something like that. Thank you for the 22 euros. I'm never going to do a stream with someone, chat. Sorry. I don't like that dynamic. Thank you for the 22 euros. I see people do streams now. I like the streams just chatting. Once I start bringing someone else on, it's like, read chat, scammed, read chat. Why are you ignoring donations? Yeah, it's going to become that. And I know exactly why. You know, I know how this works. I'm not doing that. I need to talk to you guys, or you'll just lash out while I'm talking to a fighter. You know? Tell Cap to cut the lights off and... No. Guru, I just painted my screen white for you. All right, man. It's always the Canadians, man. Which would you prefer? Aspinall versus Jones or Nganouu? Aspinall, Jones. Prime versus Prime, any fighter in history. Who do you match up? Anderson Silva versus GSP. In their prime. Do a Schmitty impression after O'Malley loses again. Man, I'm not your friend anymore. I don't know what he would say. I texted you, I hate you. And you fucking lost. UFC 316, Colby versus Ian Garry. We need those types of fights. What happened to the fights where we're going to get trash talk at a press conference? I feel like the UFC avoids them these days. You guys. Sick of it. UFC 316 needs Colby versus Ian Garry. I've already read that. What am I doing? Thoughts on Brian Battle versus Magny being booked? All right, you're dumb. Thank you for the 16. I literally read ahead. Literally going to answer that for a second. Ank's going to shoot on Alex, or is he really that daft? He'll shoot on him. He will. Ask Cap his favorite F word. Okay. I will. I'll bring up all of it. I'm sure he'll be down to talk about that type of stuff. Very few held the featherweight belt. Bums like Hill got the light heavyweight belt. True. Well, not bums like Hill, but yeah. Thank you for the 2. But yeah, I know the featherweight belt is more esteemed, isn't it, for sure? But you say very few held the featherweight belt, and then Jones held the fucking light heavyweight belt longer than a lot of them. The light heavyweight belt was held by Jones in DC for a very long time, so not many have held it. It's just a lot of them did in a very short amount of time. Thoughts on Bisping saying that Seattle reminded him of India because all of the feces on the streets? I mean, yeah. I don't know if he said that, but well, that sounds like India. Thank you for the 5. Guys into MMA, women are sus. They're all mid. Here's the thing. Not being able to find mid women attractive is more sus. And you're probably gay. I catch the right pheromone off of a woman. Oof. It's going off. So I rebuke that take. Norma Jimon. If you can't find that attractive, then you're probably gay. Like, at what point do your standards need to raise to before we admit that you're gay? You know what I mean? Like, that's just that's kind of what it's coming down to these days. So I rebuke that take, you fucking F word. Jesus, nearly said that then. Guru, can you wait? Oh my god, I'm never gonna catch up on donos, man. Thank you guys. Why is nobody talking about Illia's inactivity? Oh, shut up, you nerd. 1 round Guri versus David Adesanya for the heavy set title. I'd win. Everyone bashing Lopez, saying he's undeserving, when Volk, who's on a 2-fight losing streak, is getting an immediate title shot after a year off. I know. I get nobody wants to bash Volk, but I know everyone's now pandering to Volk, even though they hated him for years until he beat Holloway in the trilogy. I know. It's pathetic. Thank you for the 2. Has anybody thought about Gene fighting Justin? Yes, we've thought about that, and it's dumb, and we don't like it. Unranked, not even in the division. So I'd rather someone in Gaethje's division that's ranked to fight Gaethje. That'd be ideal. Any news on the Gaethje fight? No news yet. A lot of potential, but I wouldn't be surprised if they plucked a regional can out. No, I wouldn't. I don't think that would happen, but yeah. Hopefully it's something good.